Welcome to episode 5 of Human Performance Junkies. I'm sitting here today with Dr. Caroline Grosso Klessig. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks so much for having me.
Would you mind introducing yourself and what brought you to medicine?
Yeah, so my name's Caroline, as he already said. I kind of came into the medical world. I was a two-sport Division I athlete for undergrad, and I just basically tried to go as far as I could with that. After kind of my journey in semi-pro sports and kind of figuring out it was a really hard, especially for women, to kind of take that next extra step. That's when I actually was a strength and conditioning coach first at Castleton, Vermont. And then I was just like not fulfilled, like something I needed more. So I kind of like hopped around. I shadowed like PTs, PAs, surgeons, orthos. And then in the like craziest way, I got referred to Carolina Sports Clinic, where I'm at now. Actually, this upcoming year, I've been there in some way, shape, or form for 10 years, which is insane. My boss and I were talking about that today. And so after I got referred here, I kind of saw what he did, and I went in the clinic, and I'm like, this is like what I want to do. So kind of made up my mind that I was going to go back to school in the fall. So that was the fall of 2016. And then I graduated in 2020, and now I'm here.
So during your undergrad, you went to Niagara and then transferred to Syracuse.
Yes.
Two-sport athlete at Niagara and then one-sport athlete at Syracuse?
Yes.
Okay.
You did your research.
So Niagara, soccer, and lacrosse.
Yes.
Also, there was one more thing that you were doing, which it really impressed me. Your work ethic in undergrad seemed
Oh, I appreciate that.
like bat out of hell, almost like an underdog mentality. Yeah, in one of the podcasts that I listened to, one person, you had told a story where they're like, oh, you'll never be good enough to play at Syracuse.
Yeah. They literally actually told, I went to a recruiting camp, and they're like, sayonara, see ya never. Joke's on you. Graduated there. But no, yeah.
I find it very fascinating. I'm kind of the same way where when somebody tells you like, oh, you'll never be able to do that. I'm the type of person where it makes me angry and makes me want to do that thing even more. Sounds like you fit that mold as well.
Yeah, and it's actually like really the cool thing is that's really where I feel like my fitness, my mental health started to ramp up. So when I was at Niagara, two-sport Division I athlete, I had so much fun, but it was a lot of work. And I just think too, and I'll just be straight up, like in my head, I was like, I am going to college to play sports. Like that was my sole purpose. I want to be a professional athlete like everybody else. And I just like wasn't, some of my coaches have left, like the team maybe wasn't doing as good as I wanted it to. And so after my first 2 years, I was like getting injured all the time. I was going out drinking, partying. I was eating like shit. Like the list goes on. And then I really can't even tell you like, I mean, I kind of can. Like, I think it's always like a breakup. I feel like I go through a breakup and I'm like, I'm going to get jacked and da-da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? And so I just kind of like buckled down, and I really just started integrating like nutrition, lifting, like all of that stuff. And I really worked hard one summer, and I was just so happened to be playing lacrosse where some of the coaches saw me, and I had just asked from my release for Niagara. I was like, I'm not happy. Like, I'm not happy here. I need a transfer. And so, in a roundabout way, I kind of got approached, and that's kind of what led me to Syracuse. And it was really cool because after working so hard for so many years and thinking I could never play there, and it was always a dream of mine to play in, the Syracuse Dome. And I have so much respect for all of my teammates who have played there. I mean, there was just so many phenomenal athletes. And actually, like, huge shout out to Reggie Thorpe. He just got hired as a head coach, and he was my defensive coach. And I hold him like so close to my heart. He was the reason why I went to Syracuse. So he deserves this position. This is going to be his first year, and I'm so excited to see where it goes. But that was kind of like my transition into Syracuse. And then when I went to Syracuse, I was like, holy shit. These girls are freaking elite. Like, they're good. They're fast. Like, you know what? Niagara is a little lower D1. Like, you're going to get a lot of good athletes, but it wasn't like Syracuse. Syracuse was top 5. I was like, I've never seen girls play like this before.
We'd spoken a little bit off camera about how important it is to like surround yourself with good people.
Yes.
Would you say that your friend group also changed when you went from Niagara to Syracuse?
Absolutely. I mean, I think when you go through those big changes in general, the good ones will stay and the bad ones will go. And, you know, sometimes too, even if it's like purposeful, like, you know, I don't know how controversial it is to talk about religion, but like my mom always told me, like, God will continue to test you and continue to test you, and you think you'll learn, and he's going to test you again if you don't learn. And I felt like I went through a lot of that. And once I finally like made up my mind, like, wow, maybe these people aren't serving me. Maybe these people aren't rising me to like my highest potential. And the really cool thing about that, to not really like, I don't want to skip over Syracuse, but to bring you to where I am now, and, you know, like getting introduced to like Marissa, who's invited me on this podcast, and Chase. And I started to meet all these people, and I just slowly started to see like my career and my life and everything rise to the top. And I'm like, this is like me. This is who I want to be around. These are people who push me to be higher, who are motivating me, who are making me do hard things, and are cheering for me, most importantly. So it was pretty cool to see the switch, but I will say I still have a lot of great friends from Niagara, and I'm very blessed, especially at Syracuse too. I mean, I had a lot of them at my wedding, and it was really cool to intermix the two and still be in my life now.
As I've gotten to know Marissa, I guess it's been about a year now. It seems like Charlotte has a strong density of healthy entrepreneurs, and you're right a part of that community.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Can you talk a little bit about that Charlotte community of entrepreneurs, and especially like the company that Marissa has, Raw Bites by Marissa?
Amazing. She's elite. I've had nothing like it, and that's really cool. I think it's a really special niche to have something that like really I've never experienced before, and was like with Raw Bites by Rissa, just like shouting out my girl. But like I have a lot of dietary restrictions. You know, some people, they want that sweet treat, but they don't want to, you know, crush everything that they're working so hard for. So it's really cool to see young entrepreneurs like herself and also embody. I mean, she bakes and makes all these recipes because that's her passion, but she also wants to take care of her body. So it's a way that it's like you can kind of have your cake and eat it too, but in a healthy way. And that's like, it's just, you know, I could go on and on about her company, but kind of circling back to the question you asked me is, I think here over the past 2 years, being able to meet people like herself, meet people like Chase, my friend Leo, you know, Peter Falcone, I call him Chefy. You know, I've also met through Marissa. It's so cool because we all are very like-minded. We want to see each other grow, and we all have small businesses. And what's the best thing for a small business is support from your friends. And so I think being surrounded by, I mean, and I was impressed by the fitness community. I'm from New York, and it's not like that here. So it's really cool because I think I got very ingrained in my work, and I almost like fell out of my love for fitness and movement. And it's not like I never stopped. I just think I kind of like plateaued. And it's really cool because now I feel like I'm like doing new things and trying hard things again, and like putting myself in zones that I'm not comfortable with, which is why I played sports in college to begin with. So trying to find that like niche that fulfills that emptiness since I haven't played.
So what made you go down the chiro school route instead of med school or maybe nurse practitioner? Like why chiro?
Good question. After kind of spending time shadowing all those different providers, the one thing that stuck out to me the most about Josh, and that is my boss, and he hates when I call him boss. I say this on every single podcast I'm on, but whatever. He's my boss. And he really disarmed people when they came in. Like, I would go to PTs or orthos, and I feel like people would walk in, and it was just like, they have a computer in front of their face and they barely even look at the person. They barely even know someone. And in my opinion, I'm going to figure out what's really going on with you if I peel those onion layers off. If I'm like, where are you from? You know, then you start to get a little more comfortable and you tell me everything I need to know. I don't need to ask. So where I was in kind of that like more medical, kind of like big pharma area, I was just like, I'm not loving this. Like, I just feel like they can't develop these relationships. And I'm a relationship person. I'm the youngest of 4. I have a lot of friends that I'm so blessed for and I love. I love deeply and I care about my people and I like to be surrounded by funny and great people. So like that mattered to me. And I also have this thing where like, I don't want people to feel not included in things. Like, if you're rolling with me, we're rolling deep. And like, I never want you to feel like you're not good enough. I want you to believe in yourself. And that's really like my MO. And I think that's what Josh does at Carolina Sports Clinic. It is a space where it doesn't matter who you are. You go in there and you feel heard. You feel listened to. They're not going to just like shove you off to another provider. And it's always one-on-one. And so that's why I picked chiropractic medicine. I think a lot of people think it's like, oh, it's just like a rack and a crack. And we just do so much more at CSC. And that's just kind of what sets us apart. But that's kind of why I chose that, because I could integrate everything that, you know, the chiro, the soft tissue, the cupping, the needling, the strength, the Olympic weightlifting, like all of my passions, running, all into one. And that's what I was like, okay, you know, I might not be a professional athlete myself, but if I was one, this is how I'd want to be treated. And that's kind of what drew me to CSC.
That's incredible. And I really like how it seems, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you are unapologetically yourself. And I like how you said you disarm people when they come in the door, because when you go to a doctor's office, there's almost like you feel tense and like you want something solved. You're there for a reason. Mm-hmm. And if you can get somebody to relax, like who knows what that placebo is going to do of just letting somebody just like relax.
Exactly. And I just feel like there's a lot of times I've gone to not just doctors, like restaurants or whatever else, and I just feel like a transaction. And like, how much better do you feel even if it's just like to a coffee shop and you come in, they're like, yo, what's up? How you doing? Like, this is your order. Like, I know exactly what you like because they took the time to get to know you. And I really do feel like that's why we're put on this earth. There's so many people in this world that we get to meet, and there's so many walks of life and so many stories. And so like, if I haven't lived that, I want to hear about how you're living your life, and maybe I can live vicariously through you, or maybe you can motivate me to do something that I'm uncomfortable with. And that's how you live. You know, it's like you gotta widen your horizons and really expand. And, you know, I might have 9,000 friends out there and people might make fun of me for it, but I really do believe that each one serves its purpose, and I get a lot from those people that I surround myself with.
Yeah, making people feel good is medicine too, which is why you bring Callaway into the office.
Yes,
right?
yes. He's a primary. I have people who only schedule on Wednesdays because they want to see my dog, and I get it.
What kind of dog is he?
He's a Dogo Argentino pit bull mix. It's literally a fancy word as like Argentinian dog. Okay. He's like 100 pounds and he thinks he's like this big.
That's a load.
And he's this sweet boy. He's going to be 13 in August. He's getting up there.
Oh, yeah, that is getting pretty old.
Yeah, omega-3s.
Oh, speaking of supplements, what supplements do you give your dog?
Omega-3s. Okay. Glucosamine synergy, standard process. And then we do a Q 10, all like joint stuff. And then he does have a lot of like cardiac issues. So unfortunately we have to like it's like a laundry list. This dude is like, he's got like a pill container and like every morning I'm like, oh my gosh.
Do you have to wrap it in like bacon or anything?
We do the like pill pockets.
Oh, I haven't heard of those.
They're amazing. You just shove it in, close it up. He doesn't even know.
Oh, okay. It sounds like a dumpling kind of.
Yeah. It's like a dog dumpling.
Are those only for dogs, or can you use them in like retirement communities as well? Is that
good question? I don't know. I've never tried.
You should try it. They can pop their Viagra too. So here's a fun one: neurofunctional contemporary medical acupuncture provider.
Yes.
How did you obtain such a title?
Great question. I know it is a mouthful. So this is actually a pretty cool story. During my collegiate and my athletic career, I've been a victim to concussions. I've had a lot. I've actually had 6. And knock on wood, I haven't had one in a while. God bless. But the last one I got, I really started to have some issues. I was stuttering. I was dating my husband at the time. Shout out Blake. And I was trying to explain to him, I'm like, I can't really tell you what I'm feeling, but I don't feel right. I don't feel correct. Like I am definitely, as we were talking about earlier, I'm like 1,000,000 miles per hour. So am I forgetful? Yes, absolutely. ADHD? Oh yeah, it's there.
Same here.
And it's rough, but I feel like it's a superpower at the same time. But after the last one, we had Dan Dominguez, who is an acupuncturist for the Bills. He came into our school and he was just kind of like talking about all this stuff. And towards the end, I went and talked to him. I'm like, I really would like to come see you. Like I have ringing in my ears. I'm forgetful. I'm having issues sleeping. And then what a lot of people don't know is when you suffer concussions, you can actually start to feel depressed and start to feel all these other things. And I had kind of felt some feelings of that, but I think too when you're like, oh, I'm just bummed or I'm having anxiety, you kind of are like in denial that like you're actually depressed. And I just needed help. I wanted to feel better, and I just wanted to feel like myself and not stutter and not having the ringing in my ears. So I went to his office, got a treatment, and after, I think it was like literally like my first or second treatment, I just remember waking up the next day and I'm having a conversation with my roommate, Bubba, and I'm like, holy, my stutter's gone. Like it's completely gone. And he's like, holy crap, I didn't even realize. And then my ringing in my ear was gone. And I'm like, this is insane. But just like we talked about disarming people, he just like listened to me. I had gone to so many other doctors and so many other people, and they were just like, oh, you're fine. Like, it's just like, it'll go away. And concussions really haven't. I feel like they're still making their, headway in medicine.
No pun intended.
Yeah, literally, no pun intended. But it can be like detrimental, and that's why you see a lot of it in like the NFL and football players who suffer from CTE, suffer from depression. Like these are diagnoses. It's very hard to explain what you're feeling, but they're real and it's there.
So what were the, I guess, clinical recommendations when you went into just like an MD's office?
Like literally nothing.
Like drink water and get some sleep?
Yeah, electrolytes, get some sleep. And I'm like, I'm sensitive to light. I'm sensitive to sounds. I'm literally stuttering. I've never had a stutter in my life before.
So now that you've gone through the dry needling training, which is like thousands of hours, how many hours did it?
It's almost like 3,000.
Okay, that's nuts.
The neurofunctional, yeah.
That's a year and a half of work, like 9 to 5.
So you go, there's a online kind of component of it. And then when I was in my like clinicals in Buffalo, we went every week for like from Friday to Sunday. So 3 days every 3 weeks for like 6 months. And then like the advanced course, it was a little more like condensed and accelerated this past, because I feel it's like once you get to that second part, I think it's hard to have people like fly into Canada. We weren't in New York, but we did. My boss, Josh, and myself, we were flying into Canada this past year to finish our advanced certification.
So having the knowledge that you have now, how would you have treated yourself?
Oh, I mean, luckily Dan was there, so he went through all of it, and he is like, talk about like the guru. He's just really a phenomenal physician at what he does. I think again, I just would have done it sooner. I mean, I really suffered with those symptoms for a while, so I would do the needling. You know, adjustments are good for concussions, but after a certain point, because sometimes too you can do an adjustment and it can really like exacerbate symptoms.
So why does dry needling help?
So when you're in pain, or if you have, let's just say, a disorder, a diagnosis, your body is in this constant like fight or flight, right? So that's why it's like, I'm uncomfortable, there's inflammation, there's, you know, the list goes on, there's pain, you know, there's nociception, which is also pain, there's all these like neuroreceptors coming in and out. So I lost my train of thought.
Why does it why does it help? And then
Thank you.
Difference between
I was like, whoa.
Acupuncture and dry needling.
Yes, thank you. So concussion symptoms right there. But also probably need a little carb in my life right now. You know what I mean?
Carb?
Full day of work. Who needs? Yeah, you need
Okay.
a carb. Need
We
some
can-
thoughts. We can
Marissa,
dive
can
into
you
that
get some
too.
carbs?
No, you're good. You do
Like
not need to
you want
feed
like a
me. I'm
bucket of
okay. I
spaghetti
had
or
a bar.
something, or-
Could you imagine? I'm just like eating pasta.
On them.
I know, it's totally fine. It's just a meatball. But so it basically, you're in this fight or flight like state. So you have our sympathetic system, fight or flight, parasympathetic, rest and digest. The needle actually like manipulates the body to feel that it's in a state, the parasympathetic state, that it makes it feel like it's starting to heal. So it calms the body down, which allows like the body to actually like obtain the treatment. It down regulates your sympathetic. So instead of like, you're like, you know, run around, it allows that to kind of like shut off. And then like really, I can do a lot of cool things with it. So like, for example, let's say you tore your ACL. You're having some issues with your quad. I can put one needle in. You probably have quad atrophy because you had an ACL tear. I can take my stim box, touch a needle. I can activate your quad without you activating your quad. I put the current through my body and through the needle, and then it activates the quad. So what I'm trying to do is basically put that train back on the nerve track to be like, wait, I was asleep for 6 months, but now I feel this. So now my brain's like, oh, I can work this muscle. And then it starts to do it on its own. It's really cool. It's honestly a phenomenal.
Okay, that actually kind of answered my question. I had a exercise injury probably, I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago. I was squatting and I think my ego had gotten to me. And
Happens to us all.
yeah, I tweaked my back pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
I went into work that day, and one of my buddies, he's like definitely a guy like rough around the edges. He came from special forces, very calloused. He goes, "You know what you need to do? Acupuncture." And I go, "Okay, I'm willing to try anything at this point," because I was hobbling around like a 90-year-old. And I went to an acupuncture place, and I hobbled in there after, I think it was 1 hour acupuncture and red light therapy. I walked out of there with like a spring in my step.
Yeah.
Outside of pain relief and like the rush of endorphins, like what else happened there? Because people ask me for recommendations if they have like pain or something. I always suggest acupuncture. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it did, but it worked.
So even though like people think, okay, oh my gosh, you're getting a needle in your body, it's a very low impact therapy, because a lot of times too, people will come in with a hot low back and, oh, I want to adjust you. No, like if you were to come into my office and you're like, I blew out my back, weightlifting, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to needle you and I'm going to do a red light. Because
Why the red light?
so I don't know which one that they use on yours, but we have a Diawave Class 4 laser. So that is a laser that literally goes all the way down to the mitochondria of the cell, powerhouse of the cell, 7th grade science class, and it starts to heal from the inside out. Red light in general is the only light that can penetrate deeper than the superficial layer of the skin. So that allows and starts to promote all this healing and tries to decrease inflammation. And then also because you're in that hot low back acute is what we call it stage, your neuroreceptors are literally like going off like fireworks. 4th of July, it's very festive that I said that. But so when you do acupuncture, again, I can manipulate your like just all your neurons to kind of chill out, go to where we need them to go, and then start kind of chipping away on the muscles that I either want to deactivate or activate with the needles.
Kind of an odd question here, but have you seen more success in patients who come in when they buy into like, this will heal me, this will help?
I mean, there's always a level of that, right? It's just like you're going to believe what you believe. So if someone is coming in and they have a wall up, there's a part of them that believes it, or else they wouldn't want to be there, right?
Yeah, and the reason I ask that question is because I know when I'm doing a cold plunge, I think it is 10 times more beneficial to relax yourself and be like, this is good for me, instead of going in there intense and be like, I want to get out, I want to get out, I want to get, versus just like letting go.
Yeah. I love ice baths. I mean, we had to do them to get through preseason, like 2-a-days. There's no choice. So it's funny because like people are like, oh, cold plunges. And I'm like, and/or an ice bath. Same difference. But like not to be facetious by any way, but like you can put me in a cold plunge and I will just like chill out. I am like, I am cold to my core. I love cold stuff. I don't like hot stuff. I'm always hot. And so like I love the coldness, but I really do think it's all about your mindset. And it's just like really kind of, we talk about being an athlete or like being really good at something. There's a level that you have your own control. So like, are you going to let that cold plunge beat you, or are you going to kind of tell yourself like, this is good for me and I'm going to get all my benefits? And then really that's when you start to get that like second tier of health, because now you're not just doing the physical aspect of it, you're doing the mental aspect of it.
Do you have a cold plunge at home?
We
did.
You
go somewhere?
We did. We had like one that went outside, but it's really, I will say, just the more like plastic ones, especially in North Carolina, it's really hard to like keep clean. So we just do it. We have like we actually have this really nice tub in our master, and we can just like dump ice in it and rip in there.
What about like if people don't have access to a cold plunge, how beneficial is a cold shower?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I can't speak on that a whole ton, but I think a lot of people have bathtubs, and there's a lot of gas stations around with ice, and you can just like grab some ice and put it in a bathtub.
We talked about cold plunge, I think dry needling, acupuncture. We'll get back to sauna, but what about grounding? Do you ever dabble in that?
We have a grounding mat at our office. Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I think it's some level of radio frequencies, and that's similar to what we do in needling. Like we are putting on a stim box, which, puts these frequencies into our body. I can't speak too much on it, honestly, because it's not like a primary aspect of my health regimen.
Okay, health regimen. Another podcast I heard you talking about Doritos. You're a huge fan.
Yo, I've quit, guys. I've quit. I'm almost 2 months deep. I'm so proud of myself.
What, you quit Doritos?
I'm still having Tostitos. I'm not saying I quit.
Okay.
But like I did figure out it was kind of like not probably like great. I had a problem. Like
you had a Doritos addiction?
Yeah, I would train so hard and be like, okay, I trained hard so I can absolutely dummy a family-sized bag of Doritos and not even
Cool Ranch?
I mean, I don't discriminate against any flavor. Oh, you're just an addict.
You'll take
just
absolutely.
I have a problem. But it is crazy because I think I'm on day, I don't know where I'm at.
You sound like a recovering
I know
alcoholic.
I am. But I do feel better.
Do you get a coin after a year then? Or
I probably should.
Okay.
I mean, Doritos just should have sponsored me. They didn't. And so here we are. I'm quitting. I'm revolting.
Tostitos.
But Tostitos, I'm in. Love a scoop.
So I have guilty pleasure foods as well.
Everybody does.
What percentage would you recommend other people for like a good versus bad.
80-20.
I literally
Boom.
wrote down 80-20.
80-20, man. Like, do your best, but like, have a. Can I swear? I don't know if I can.
Yeah,
have a
course.
freaking French fry. You know? I mean, and also technically, like French fries, potato. Potatoes are like so much better for you. And like in my head, if I'm having a salad and a French fry, it's like balance.
Yeah.
You know?
I think a lot of the if you get heavy into the fitness community, it can almost feel overwhelming with how much noise there is of like if you don't, you have to like kind of come down to earth and be like, all right, I don't have to be completely regimental by going like completely keto or carnivore. From when I was 15 or 16 years old and started working out and playing sports, I've always just had like a very balanced approach of the 80-20 method of just like, for the most part, I'm going to eat a salad every day. I'm going to eat like a lot of eggs in the morning, hydrate, not drink soda. But then like, especially in college, I'd be like, but I'm still going to live my life. I'm going to go have a few drinks.
Have a piece of pizza.
Have a whole pizza by myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anisia's is really good, just saying from here. But like,
and a whole gallon of ranch with the pizza.
Love
too.
that.
So
yes. I mean, sometimes you need, and I also think too, it's just like, again, circling back, but like you got to live. I am so open to talk about it because I think a lot of people don't. Like, I've had an eating disorder in the past. I was not eating food. Like, I was anorexic for a time in my life. And it's definitely something that I still struggle with. So I think like having a healthy relationship with food is super important. So now I just do like, I am smart about what I eat. I indulge when I want to indulge, but I think for so long I like was just constricting myself that it really created this kind of like monster inside me that was like trying to obtain this thing that really wasn't obtainable and wasn't healthy. So and the cool thing is, especially for women, is protein is our friend. Like we need protein. It's like we need so much protein. And a lot of women, especially, sorry ladies, I'm calling us all out, but we have a deficiency in protein. We have a deficiency in carbs. Who doesn't love a carb? Carb is literally like it's nutrients for your brain, it's nutrients for your muscles. And I'll just talk like last year, I went through a time where I could not figure out why I wasn't putting on muscle. Mind you, I did know exactly why I wasn't. But in my head, I was like, I don't know why I can't put on muscle. I was overtraining, undereating. Simple. Guess what I changed? Smarter about my training, slamming that protein every freaking morning. And like, not to make this like a marketing campaign, but a company reached out to me. They're called Creatures of Habits. It's 30 grams of protein in one serving. And it's overnight oats, and I eat it every single morning for breakfast. And I wish I really took like a before picture of me in like May 1st to just now. It's like actually insane how much muscle I put on. I'm out of like metabolic alkalosis acidosis. Like all my hormones are regular. Got my IUD out. I'm figuring it out. But like especially in women, I'm going to be 32. That like 28 to 35 range, shit gets weird, man. And like, you got to figure it out. So like, if you're depriving yourself of certain macronutrients, you will see it in your training, you will see it in your cycles, and you will see it in your mental space.
You covered a lot there. And I think there's a lot that people are going to want to know more. So I'll start off with, you talked about the eating disorder and what changed first, your perspective of food or your eating habits? Was it more like, do you know what I mean? Like, was it chicken or the egg?
That's a good question. I think I was like, now I think it's tough because, and I'm just going to like say it how it is right now. GLP-1s are really heavy right now. Everybody's on them. It makes you very, very lean. I think in, when was it like the 1960s, 1970s, all these women were supposed to be looking very skinny and, tiny and not really strong. And I think in my head, I'm, 5'6", 5'7". I'm supposed to be this tall, lean girl. Well, newsflash, I was a soccer player my entire life. These quadzillas, they ain't going anywhere. And so I was trying to look like this, even though I was training like this. And so I'm training heavy, but depriving myself. And that's when your hormones are like, whoa, what's happening? So I think for me, that was also a stage in my life where I was depressed, and just getting out of that and just being like, hey, I can still love really nutritious food and not deprive myself of it. Like, why do I have this mindset? And now I'm like, it's like 9 o'clock and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for lunch. Like, this is what I have. I'm just like thinking about food all the time, which is great, because I used to be where I was like, I could go all day without eating food. And that's where it starts to get dangerous.
It sounds like it was a point of stress before, but
Yeah.
now you're...
I mean, they put me in a skirt in college, a very tight fitted skirt.
Wait,
like, that's what we played. I mean, that's what women lacrosse players play in, is tight, short skirts.
Wait, sorry, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that. We
skirt?
play in skirts. And it's like, one, makes no sense to me. But also, two, I think I really started to get in my head. Like, I don't look like the other girls. I'm a little, like meatier, like da-da-da-da-da. So then you kind of like are trying to fit this mold that really, as someone who loves to lift weight, I'm never going to freaking fit that mold. I'm a happy girl in a size 8 pant. I'm a medium girl, small on top. I'll shout it from the rooftop. I was trying to like fit in these, like be this person that was a size 2. And that size 2 wasn't healthy for my life. My size 8 is happy. I feel good. I look good. I got a booty on me. Thanks, Vicky. That's my mom's name.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like your trainer or something.
Could you imagine? Actually, my mom like probably doesn't really have that big of a butt, but like, the genes are there.
Yeah.
The genes are there. But still, it's just like you really have to start to see yourself in a way that's realistic, because everybody's body types are different. Genetics are different, and don't fool yourself if you're training this way. And I'm not out here saying I'm like this massive human being, but I'm not a very, very small, tiny, petite girl. I'm just not. But I don't train like that, and that's okay.
I have been trying to emphasize the importance of protein to not only males, but definitely females in my life as well. And it doesn't really seem to get through. So can you please advise why protein is so important, and the dosage? So like there's sayings out there like 1 gram per pound or 2 for kilograms. What do you do?
In general, I really feel like it's like the limit does not exist for women. I think it's very hard, and I'm just talking about women right now because I'm a girl. But it's hard in general for women to have muscles like yours, or like to have muscles like dudes. Like, we don't have a super high level of testosterone. Protein builds muscle, and you also have to lift a lot of weight and eat a lot of food to look like that. Okay? And so I think in general,
to have that anabolic response.
Exactly. And in general, women aren't doing that. A lot of times we're like, we can't eat this, or we don't do this, and then we're depriving ourselves, when in general, all we're doing is that we're messing with our hormones, like I talked about before. So I'm about like 140 pounds, I think. I stopped weighing myself. That was a big thing for me. I used to weigh myself like every day. I was like, this is not healthy.
Good for you.
Threw it out. Gone pecan. Every time I go to the physician's office, gone pecan.
I haven't heard that
when
one.
they're like, step on the scale, I'm like, make me. But I'll do it because like I have to for my physical. Annoying, but like I was like, okay, fine. I like do downward spiral a little bit when I say that, when I see it, but I'm just like, let it go. And I'm in a better headspace, but I'm about 140, and I'm having like so I'll do like 30 grams in the morning. It's also especially important the timing of your protein. So I work out in the morning, so I want heavy protein, heavy carbs immediately after I work out, because that's what goes right into your muscle, right into your body, and then your body's not actually like fueling off of your muscle. If you don't have protein, you're not going to have nice shiny muscles. It's just going to eat off all the muscles, and then you're just going to be flabby. So in general, it's really hard for women to hit that like level that we need. So I do that. I double protein with like literally every meal. I can't even tell you how much like grams I eat a day, but if it says protein, I'm like, I'll have it. Like, that's me.
I actually used to be a personal trainer when I was in college, and the female clients that would come in, they would be like, I don't want to get buff. And that's exactly, obviously I couldn't roll my eyes at them because I was working there, but I'd just be like, you don't have to worry about that. Like, they're like, no, but I don't want to look like, I'm like, do you realize how hard it is for males to achieve that? You, with a substantially lower level of testosterone and a number of other hormones, anabolic hormones, you're not going to worry about that.
No. And I'm out here doing 900 bicep curls a day. And look at these tiny things. I mean, I wish I look a little bigger. But, like, it's hard.
The camera takes a little bit off,
yeah,
so we'll
sit
edit
here
it to make it look
But,
a
like,
little better.
it is hard to build muscle in certain parts of your body. That's why a lot of women build muscle in their legs and their butt. And it's because we're literally put on this earth, which I hate to say too. This is a whole nother conversation
Let's
because
do it.
I am not going to be a stay-at-home mom. I'll tell you that. But, like, we are humanly supposed to birth children.
Mm-hmm.
We need strength. We need muscle. We need a trunk. So that's why I feel like in general, women build muscle better in legs and thighs, and men build muscles up here. Not sure why. Don't know what your guys' purpose is yet, but no, I'm just kidding.
I think I'm still trying to figure that out. I will refrain from other things I was going to say.
I'm just kidding.
But God, where were we? Purpose of men and women. I think it was protein. So, how many grams a day do you eat? How many grams a day do you recommend? 140.
Yeah, I mean, let's just say I would say what were you saying, like a pound per.
1 gram per pound.
Like
of
1
body
gram
weight?
per pound,
Yeah.
and or 1.5 grams per pound. I think that.
Okay.
Maybe you guys were put on this earth to do math because you just helped me.
You know what?
That's pretty
That
good.
is, I did like math. And actually, when we were talking about like underdog stories before, I had a math teacher in high school say, like, I think it was like 10th grade. He's like, you are never going to be good at math whatsoever.
How dare.
I was playing Monopoly on my phone in back of class. I didn't
Love
really.
Monopoly.
Huge fan. I actually entered a Monopoly tournament when I was 12 years old at a local mall.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah. And
Did you win?
no, here's the thing.
Sorry.
I got second place and I lost to like a 50-some-year-old man.
I mean, you know
Everybody
he had
else
that
in this
dialed
tournament were kids. My mom was heated.
And then there was Father Monopoly. Monopoly himself.
My
It was
mom's like,
probably him.
what is he doing here? This is for children.
He
And-
actually probably made the game. It was him himself.
I don't know why he was. Honestly, it's kind of gross. But anyway, kind of a weirdo. So back to my math. Underdog. I won't say his name, but he's like, you will never do anything in math. I ended up going to school for mechanical engineering.
Oh.
And then when I was going through my undergrad, my math teacher from high school was the varsity math league coach. And I just got done coaching hockey for 2 years, and I needed a break. So my her name was Miss Arrow, and she's like, hey, would you mind helping out coaching math league? And I was like, sure.
So fun.
And then the following year, there was like an assistant position,
Did you say
and the other math teacher that told me I suck at math applied for it, but they offered it to me instead.
Oh, see? What goes around
Loser.
comes around. You know what I mean? You didn't even have to do anything.
Well,
it just proved itself.
And it just it shows like what you say to kids during like a very influential
It matters.
life. It definitely matters. And like, fortunately, I have the mindset of like, well, fuck you. Like, I don't care what you say.
Yeah, don't tell me what to do.
You know, if I had respected him as an individual, maybe that would have resonated more. But I really didn't respect him as a teacher.
Well, and there's a difference between like being like constructive with your criticism. And I think that there's a lot of different ways. I mean, my math teacher made me have lunch with her every single day until I passed algebra. And I'll never forget that. And I'm still not good at math. We had a lovely lunch date, and I just don't know if it's stuck with me. But that's why
Is
I
there
like
a lot of
the
like
other
carrots
human
and peas for lunch where you guys are like
body. I
dividing
don't even
them?
remember. I just remember like I hated every minute of it, and I think she knew I hated it. And
Yeah.
she knew. She's like, Caroline, if you don't do good in math, you can't play sports. And I was like, all right, I'm in. Like if you just convince me that way,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'll do it.
That's like I think it's so important for kids to play sports, not only for just developing healthy habits at an early age, not only physically, but like mentally, you're growing healthy relationships with people.
Good morale overall.
But yeah, it just like keeps you out of trouble too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially like in that 6th grade all the way up until like 10th grade, there's just opportunities of just trash activities if you're not doing something.
Well, and it teaches you so much. It teaches you how to maybe like have different hats on at work, or it also teaches you how to like understand constructive criticism. It teaches you how to lose in life.
Yeah.
It teaches you how to win. It teaches you how to master skills that you didn't know you had, and it also teaches you to cheer for other people. And so like sports, I mean, really is like my entirety of my life and my heart and soul, and I feel like I wish I could, you know, and I'm still not done yet, you know, like I could still be a professional athlete. I have
got it?
aspirations.
You sound like a man now.
I
if
mean,
I just didn't have a bad knee, I could have gone pro.
See, that's not, I think now it's
but
like.
you did play semi-pro, I thought.
Yeah, semi-pro, but like that's like, you know, I want to be like, I will be.
There you go.
A sponsored athlete of some sort. Like that is really what I'm trying to get to. And I think my things of like working with small business and stuff, it really does feel like that because like my community is my team. So every time I build something like with Marissa or Sheffy or Chase or whatever, in my opinion, that's my team. And I'm like becoming a pro at like where my community is, and then I can like climb higher. So
it's a very healthy approach. I also like that you said it teaches you how to lose.
Yeah. You gotta learn how to lose.
You see kids who are just sore losers versus, I just remember some like very early memories of like losing, and I was like, this sucks. And then having my parents there to like talk it through with me of like, yeah, you're gonna lose, but you keep trying. You keep going.
Adapt. How to reflect. Like I think too, what I have become better over the past like few years of my life, and therapy has a lot to play in this. Like I really believe everybody should go to therapy. I believe if you're an athlete, you should have a performance coach or a performance therapist. I think it can really bring you to this next level. But like not just being like, oh my gosh, I lost that game, but be like, how can I move better, you know, in my next game, or what can I do better? Or like really actually just taking accountability. Like I know that it's tough in sports because there's so many things that could happen in that game. But hey, you know, I kind of slacked off on this one player and then they scored. It was my fault. So, hey, Caroline, like next game, I'm going to go all the way to the end. And I really believe like at Syracuse, I will not lie, I was my own enemy in my head. I would get in my head, and after I graduated, I just kind of took that component off, and I was able to play a little more freely and more fun. And like, we got to also remember like why we're out there, and it's because we love the sport and it gives us joy. So I think really the people who you see thriving, you know, the Noah Lyles, the Megan Jacoby of High Rocks right now, like just those athletes, they are doing it every day because they love it, and they're able to obtain that next level because they're literally having fun. And if we don't get to that level, we're just going to really just mess with our own mind, and then we're going to bring ourselves lower, and we're our like the people we're playing against. That's who they love to beat. They're like, "Oh, I can get in your head. I'm living rent free up there." But if you're just thinking about having fun, you're going to win anyways. So, is
it true you have is it a cousin or a close friend in High Rocks?
So, I mean, we played, she went to my high school. So Megan Jacoby, she's a beast. I really honestly am so proud of her. She is, I know now she's dating someone, but she was, you know, had to really navigate a co-parent relationship at a young age. I think too, when we were in high school, she didn't get the credit that she deserved. She's always been a phenomenal runner. Like, I just remember, I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl can run like a 5.5 minute mile. You are a beast. But I do remember in like basketball and other sports, I think in my head, I was always like, she is so good. And so to be where she is now and really, you know, had known her at a high school level, like I can't tell you right now, I'm like, oh yeah, like me and Megan are like besties. But I do consider her a friend, and I love to watch her thrive. And not only that, but she's in a really healthy relationship, and her daughter has just been thriving, and she deserves every bit of it. She works so hard and she's really pushed through so many obstacles. So like if there's anybody who deserves it the most, it's really her. So I'm super proud of her, and it's really cool now where I'm like flipping through Instagram. It's like, oh my gosh, I met Megan Jacoby. I'm like, that's so cool. I literally like got to play basketball with someone who is now a professional athlete. Like that's special.
That's really cool. And that mindset of like cheering on others, I used to be super competitive, and I think over the years I had actually a couple of close friends pass away, but throughout those moments, I think one of the reasons that one of my friends did pass away because of suicide, and I think he looked at other people around him and he felt like he was behind.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah. And I think that was one thing that weighed pretty heavy on his mind. And after hearing that, I was much more just like really supportive of absolutely everybody in my life. Of like, I don't care where you're at in life, whether you perceive yourself to be behind, ahead, or whatever, just as long as you're healthy, like mentally and physically.
Yes.
Whereas like before, I think I was like super competitive, especially, I don't know, like in undergrad, I was just working a lot and volunteering. Yes. And yeah, maybe I was like subconsciously kind of taking tabs on like where I measured up and stuff.
No, I agree. And I did the same thing. And I think what it creates is a lot of insecurities. And now if you're, supportive of the people around you, and like I've said, like I'm a huge fan and a believer of collaboration. Like I think IG did, like Instagram, it was the smartest thing in the world for them to make the collaboration tab, because now it peeled off this, I'm going to get more likes than you. It's like, we are going to do this together. We are going to hype each other up because we believe in each other, and we're going to put something out there that we want to share with the rest of the world. And I feel like too, if you have things that I don't have, like, just as a joke, but like, you're good at math, I'm not good at math. Why wouldn't I want to surround myself with that? Like, even though I might in my head be like, oh, am I stupid? No, I'm going to learn something from you. So you have to put yourself in those uncomfortable situations, but also too, for the most part, if you have people who are healthily competing with you, they're going to collaborate with you at the end, because what they're going to do is going to give you the fuel you need to succeed. So like, I'm not going to compete with, right now, my friend, Jasmine, she's recovering from a hip labrum issue, and we'll train. And sometimes she's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't want to hold you back in training. I'm like, you're not holding me back. You're reminding me of why I am in this profession. You are reminding me to use the exact muscles I need to use. And you're reminding me to be smart with my training. So, and then we collaborate and we make something magical. So it's like, you got to peel that off. And the only person you need to be competing with is yourself. And if you do that every single day, I really feel like that's when you start to just climb that ladder, and everybody around will rise with you.
Yeah, the saying of collaboration, not competition.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point, where when you seek out the positive in others, like versus like the negative and trying to critique other people, it's not just in that exact moment. Like that's your neutral.
It's your mindset.
If you're constantly looking, if you're a curious individual, like I like to think of myself as, you're a lot more like a positive person. If you put that positive energy out there too, like you're going to get that in return. If you're constantly like judgmental and like really picky of others, you're going to get that in return as well.
I agree with that. And I think one place where I know for myself where I get really frustrated is seeing people in the fitness community, in the personal training community, in the medical community, where we are literally taking an oath to help others and they're putting other people down. I think that's very toxic and poison, where we literally are dedicating our lives to better others. So I think if we can really put ourselves in a place and like have people believe in each other, it's so cool to like, I mean, I only right now have 2 personal training clients. I've had them for a long time. No, I'm not taking more clients. Please don't ask me. But I have good referrals if you need. But, to see somebody who used to tell themselves they can't and now they're saying they can is amazing. And that's just what, like, you have no idea what that person is going through. You have no idea what they've overcome to get there. And so I think just that constant affirmations, and you can ask the people I work with. I'm not positive all the time. Like, I will be like, hey, I'm not doing this right, or you're not doing this correct. I do not shy away from confrontation. I think anybody who knows me knows that. But what I hope people know, or what I hope people see in me, is like, I will be your biggest fan. If you look good, I'll tell you. If I like your shoes, I'm gonna tell you. Why wouldn't I? And I'll say it to a stranger, because like that might just make their day. And maybe you're like, hey, you look really good today. Maybe that person was really struggling with self-image. Maybe that person hadn't been to the gym in a year, and that made them go back. It's just like, words are so powerful. And I think what we say to other people and ourselves really, like, it transforms where you're headed and your mindset.
Yeah, if you're like constantly having that negative self-talk, it's eventually going to come true.
Yeah.
Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're probably right.
Mm-hmm. And I've been a victim of that. And sometimes I'm still really, really hard on myself. And I think right now I'm in like a good space, and I'm like, okay, girl, you look good. You've been like killing it. But like, you got to be real with yourself, you know, like if you're not looking the way you want to look, reflect. Have you been eating right? Have you been sleeping? Have you been doing what you need to do? Like, just, again, taking accountability for those shortcomings, not saying that it's going to derail you, but just being really honest with yourself and be like, you don't look good because you're not taking the time to make yourself look good. Or like, you're not progressing in your training because you're not prioritizing that. So you just got to be honest with yourself. The minute you stop lying to yourself is also the minute you get better. And you're really just like truthful, and you're like, you know, like, I am in my own way. Again, it's a competition with yourself. So you just have to get to that space, and I'm still working on it. Like, I always think I can do better. But sometimes too, like, it feels good. Right now, I was actually like on my way here, and my buddy Lance, he'll love that I'm trying him out. He goes, what team are you proud to be on? And it was Marissa's. I'm excited to be an ambassador. And he goes, I mean, I want some free stuff too. Like, what the heck? And he goes, no, seriously though. Like, I love like that everything's going well for you. And it's cool that I can be in a place now where I can be like, yeah, I worked hard for this. I worked hard. I've put time into our relationships. I've put 10 years into my business. I have worked hard, and I deserve good. And it's hard. I'm like getting emotional talking about it. Like, sometimes you don't think that you deserve it. And like, to be in a space where I'm like, I do deserve this is really good. And it feels good to be here, because I think I was in my own way for a really long time.
How do you coach that to somebody else? Like, do you ever try to relay some of that to your clients? Because I know, like, when I used to be a personal trainer, shaping their perspective of exercise was also a part of the job. So how do you approach that with your clients?
Really good question. I try to find a way that they can fall in love with what they're doing. So if you come to me and you're like, I don't like lifting weights, but I do like doing Pilates. Okay, we can work with that. So let's do Pilates for 3 days a week. And you give me, I start with 1 day, and then they start to see some changes, and then they start with 2 days, and you just get them to fall in love with what they actually like to do. Because it's not going to do like, it's not going to benefit me if you're like, I hate to do Pilates, but you need those isometrics, you need those smaller movements. So I find ways that I can integrate it in their lifestyles. So not that I'm like manipulating them, but I'm making them understand that fitness in itself is multifaceted, and you can't just train one way. Hybrid human is really the best lifestyle to obtain.
What is
that? Running, Pilates, strength training, just being a hybrid athlete in general. And you're going to allow people to start to fall in love with something. I think that maybe they're just scared. It's not that they don't like it. I think they're just scared to be uncomfortable. So that's kind of just like how I do it. Like, or I'll just use this example. I had one woman, did not want to work out, wanted to lose weight, had 2 sodas every day of her life. So I go, okay, let's start simple. 1 soda every day. And then 6 months later, 30 pounds down, now I'm walking more and I'm only having 1 soda every week. I didn't do that. She did that. She saw what it did to her body. And then she just layered on top of it.
Yeah, it's almost like you want to create a snowball effect with your clients of healthy, good decisions. So finding something that they like and enjoy that's active is a great place to start. I used to just be like, go for a walk. Like you don't need to come into the gym and go on an elliptical. Like wake up, go for a walk, and after dinner, go for a walk. And that was a great starting point for a lot of clients. And then eventually they just started feeling better. Maybe they started sleeping better. If you sleep better, you wake up happier. And then it's like this snowball effect of just like living a healthier lifestyle mentally and physically.
As powerful as we can be for ourselves, we can be our own worst enemies. And so just trying to be that light and encouraging someone that they do have what it takes to be amazing, and they probably already are, they just don't see themselves as that, is just like getting him to understand that the little things do matter and they go a really long way. I think, unfortunately, as great as social media is to grow our clients and our business and all those things, it can be really, detrimental, because are we actually seeing what we're seeing? Are these people editing themselves? Like, hey, listen, I'm not like, do I whiten my teeth from here and there? Yeah, girl. Like, I'd say, yeah, my teeth be yellow sometimes. I don't have those shiners like you. I mean, dang. The whole time
I just
I'm
got
like,
them done a month
they
ago,
look great. I love
Thanks.
them. But that, you know what I mean? It's just like you just got to be real. And I think that's with my clients, I try to see them in the light that I see them. I try to make them believe what I'm saying, because a lot of the times it's true that we just get so mixed up with the craziness of life that we forget about all those good things. She's coming.
So for the viewers at home, Marissa is the co-founder of Human Performance Junkies, and I want her to ask the final question.
The Raw Bites Queen.
The Raw Bites by Marissa Queen.
So longevity is to live longer, right? So you're trading all of your time, all of your money, all of your energy to be off in the gym, off in the sauna or the cold plunge, so you can live longer. But you're just going to keep doing that to keep living longer. So you're missing life. If life is to be enjoyed with your friends and your family, doing things you love, you can't be doing that if you're off doing all this biohacking.
But why not do both? Why can't I come plunge with you?
Well, what if your family's not into that? Or what if you can't be at a park? You can't be cooking dinner. You can't be on a walk because you're busy doing all this. So really, like, why? Why do all these things to live longer?
If you're sacrificing time with other people, because, I've lived a really long time of my life sacrificing my time for others, and my time for me is just as important. So if you're constantly giving to others all the time, and I do this a lot, so I am like accustomed to this, you're going to burn out. So that actually allows you to be present and actually live, because if you continue to burn yourself out and you're just all like with people all the time, like, just kind of like running yourself thin, and you're never doing stuff for you, then in general, that time you get to spend with your family, your friends, they're not getting the best side of you. They're getting this burnout version of you. But if I take time for me and I'm happy and I come in and I'm like, I'm ready to rock and we can have a good time, that is presence itself. So I'm not taking their time, I'm taking intention, and I'm using intention between the time that we spend together. And that's why I do what I do. And like, also, you're going to have to peel me off this gosh dang earth, because I'm going to live forever. Me and my dog.
I love the quote, the best thing you can do for me is work on you, and the best thing I can do for you is work on me. Because all of that is all the work that we do to be healthy. We be healthy so we can be vibrant for the ones that we love when we're with them. And I think that's the whole beauty of longevity or biohacking work is you're making yourself a more vibrant human to share and impact those people you're with just like that.
Exactly. And it goes to that 80-20 mindset we talked about. We can't, if our family wants us to be there in ways that we want to be there for them, we also have to take the time on ourselves, on our nutrition, and probably all three of us could put a little more of this in our life and put more into ourselves than others. But I really think it's just like that beautiful blend that comes together. And then you're getting the best version of me every time we're hanging out, and we're going to have a blast together. So that's why I do it.
I couldn't have said it better than her. So I'm just
She
gonna
killed
leave
it.
At that. If people want to, you're not taking new clients right now, right?
No, I always am.
You are? I thought
New
you said
clients
you were...
always forever. No, new personal training clients.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you,
No.
Marissa. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. No, yes, always taking new clients, never not taking new clients.
Okay. Where can people find you?
So right now I am at Carolina Sports Connect South Park. We also have a location in Blakeney, so you could go to either. I'm only at South Park, but I'm there Monday through Friday, so you can see me there. I'm also a coach for Casually Ambitious. It is an online running and strength and nutrition platform. So if you want to know more about that, you can reach out as well.
What is, can you talk a little bit more about Casually Ambitious?
Yeah.
Because you mentioned that offline.
Like kind of off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's actually one of my buddies, Chase Price. He started this company. When he started it, he asked me to come on as like a rehab kind of specialist. And I said, heck yes, absolutely. And it was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. It helped me find me again. It helped me find the love for running again. And the community that has come with it has like seriously exploded my business. Like anytime I have good news, I'm always so excited to tell him. We're great friends, and I've watched him take, kind of come out of this other life he was living into doing something scary and opening your own business, and it's really thrived. And on top of that, but live a great marriage with Darian and have a son in the meantime. So it's really cool. He does all the running stuff, the strength programming, and then I do like our rehab injury prevention. And then we have Mason who does our nutrition. And then we have 2 coaches in the training right now, Jane and Noah, who we're supposed to kind of like build up. They can do more running stuff. But the cool thing is it's for like all over the world. So we did a half and a full in California. So it's really cool to like meet those people face to face when I've like only seen them behind a computer screen. But it's a really good community, and it's for really anybody. But it's guidance, it's family, it's friends, and come in all shapes and sizes. So that's kind of just like something I do on the side, but it's definitely a huge part of my career and my life, and I love being a part of CAPC.
Sounds cool. Do they need a washed-up Air Force veteran by
Hey,
chance?
maybe.
Or...
We love vets. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your tax dollars. All right. Well, that just about does it. Thank you so much for coming today.
No, thank you. It was great.
Take care.